I'm like, where am I? Here I am. Welcome, everybody. My name is Mary Jane Tracy, coming to you with the 411 of the Cosmic Highway, coming in with a little bit of energies that I'm feeling, seeing. And I am a spiritual love of life coach and an astrologer. So I want to come to you today and bring you a little bit of information. Information. Yes, we'll bring you some information. What's been happening? There's been a lot going on within our world, and a lot of it's not being um, put out into the regular media, and a lot of it's being hidden because of they don't want you to know, basically. So keeping you kind of on the sidetrack. So, couple things, when it comes to communication, and today is Mercury's day, and we see it happening in Canada with them trying to censor our what we are doing more and more, and even wanting to read your emails and be able to look at all your texts and text messages to your family, friends, and whoever. Also, they're doing that in the States too. I mean, they announced it, I think it was yesterday or the day before. I don't even know what the woman's name is, but coming out and said they're working with Facebook. And, saying that Facebook is causing people to get sick and causing people this and that because people are having conversations. And so now the government wants to come in and regulate that. And that's what they're doing trying to do here in Canada, also in the United States. Interesting. Over in France, and I have a few, and I was talking to, I don't know, I got in on this conversation, and there's a few people from France. They're from England, and then they have moved to France, and they own businesses. But they're saying how you could be charged if people come in who don't have a pass to go out and go into a bar, go into a theater, etc. And if you don't have this and that, you could be jailed for 6 months. And same with the person who allowed you in. Their shop could be closed down, and then they could be jailed and fined. So we're seeing this tyranny stepping up. And that's where, coming into the astrology, you see it. You see that the square with Saturn, Uranus square, that is the old and the new. So this new energy, this new way wants to come in, or this old way wants to stay on. And this new way is saying, no, we don't want to do this anymore. This is not what we are standing up for. So people are protesting and taking to the streets and really saying no, we're not doing that. And you're also seeing it coming up within parts of the States and here in Canada also. So this is where, when I'm looking at the astrology, when people are wondering about the old and the new, Uranus is the new, Saturn is the old. We're looking at all of this energy that of a square. Now, if you look at a square and when you see it in the astrology, think of it as if you are sitting on a chair, okay? Because that's a square, right? You need both sides. You need your feet and your thighs and everything to lift you up out of the chair. If there is not strength there in your legs to lift you up, if you don't have strength in your feet to hold you, then there's a collapse. And so the square is showing you where there's some strengths and where you can begin to fortify and work together. If you're not, and sometimes, what one is doing and what the other is doing, because, when you're sitting, you're not really paying too much attention to maybe your legs or your feet. Same with Saturn and Uranus. So sometimes we're not paying attention to what is happening, or we want to walk around with blinders on. We have been trained, and the thing is, we've been trained for over a year to act a certain way, to do a certain Well, it's actually been longer. We've been doing this for over 30, 50 years. They've been implementing changes within our world. I mean, from 1984 being written, and that book is, with Big Brother watching you, and people thought, oh, that's so crazy, that'll never happen, to Snowden coming out and speaking about it, and having to go into hiding. We've been seeing this, and the energies have been bringing us into a new paradigm, a new switch, a changing of thought, a changing of the way that we interact and work with people. Now, with that, there is the new way, and then there's the old way. The old is still the old men's club, I'll call it, is still wanting to hold on, wanting to keep the structures, wanting to say, yes, this is what we are going to uphold, and we don't want to let go of power. And the new is coming in and saying there is a better way of doing this. Everything that we have in our world, we have borders, are made up. Countries, they're made up. Laws, they're made up. So social norms, they're made up. Like, we have things that we have made up, and we began to believe this is so. This is the only way it's going to be. There has to be a border here. This has to be the way that this is all set up to be. So we have been, shown this, but yet again, we have seen where the USSR is now Russia, or we've seen where Yugoslavia is no longer Yugoslavia. We've seen where other countries have been, borders have moved, east, west, Germany, the wall came down. We've seen that. And now we're seeing this in a more of a global, energetic way, and in a mundane way, where newness is coming in, new ideas, new thought forms are making their way into our mainstream. Things that are being called as propaganda, or not propaganda, conspiracy theories. And we are coming in, but yet there is such a limiting beliefs, our thoughts have been trained. You're people who've been double vaxxed and everything else are still wearing masks outside. And you're just like, why are you wearing a mask outside? It's been shown over and over again. So we've been being trained, and things have been being pushed upon us, but in a very slight way, in order for us to act in a way, to do a certain thing at a certain time, so that when they are wanting to bring in heavier changes, you're not going to react. You're not going to say anything. You're just going to go with the flow. Yet the rumblings are coming up, and people are starting to rumble. Hence Mars and Leo, finger of God, Neptune, Pluto. Pluto is saying, what are you doing, and what is that third thing? So Pluto works with threes. You and a situation, you and a person, and what is the third party to that? And then Neptune is bringing in, what are your dreams? What is it that you want to dream? What is it that you want to bring forth? Now, Neptune has a energy that goes around every 200 and some odd years. No, 100 and some odd years, because Pluto is 265 and Eris is about 500 years. So we're seeing all of this energy coming up from past events, past things that have happened in the world that are coming up now, having us to take a look. Is this the way that you want to continue? Is this the world that you really want? Even where Eris is coming up. I mean, she takes over 500 plus years to go around the sun, and she's coming up, and where she is, just think of what 500 years ago. So we had Christopher Columbus coming into and stepping into the Americas. We had, for bringing in new ideas, implicating new thought forms, change coming in, push onto other people who you think are less than. We have this energy coming back, coming into our face. So this energy is really, especially today, and the heaviness that is there is having us to look at our limited beliefs, having us to look at our own limitations and where we are limiting ourselves. The divine goddess, the moon in Sag, is whispering into Mars and saying, go forward, take those steps. You have the energy, you have the plans, the strategy to step forward into your bounty, your abundance, your power. But yet we feel limited, we lack, or we don't see it fully. We don't see everything. And the beautiful, the beauty of this is that trust has to come in. Your trust in God, your trust in your higher self, your trust in your intuition that no, this is where I'm going. I trust in myself fully and completely that I know I need to be doing this. I know I am going to continue doing what I am doing because I feel this is my alignment. And this is breaking norms. This is breaking where you are stepping out or stepping into it. And it's almost like you're going rogue because everybody, the world, peer pressure comes in and says, don't do that. You got to do whatever, what the government says. But yet the government never, ever had your best interest in mind to begin with. They make it look like they do. And unfortunately, throughout the years, corruption, the whole thing has come to this point. And we are coming into a transition of energy. Hence, we're going to have 2 full moons in Aquarius. And this transition of energy of saying, how are we, in the light is coming in, because the full moon is an illumination, illuminating this energy of saying, where are you illuminating self? Where are you illuminating the energies of you wanting to go forward? And this is where I feel, and I keep on seeing a golden cape. So, and Archangel Gabriel coming in and saying, we need to make sure that we are fortifying our energies, that we are making sure that our body, mind, and spirit are healthy, and continue our, to make them healthy, to make them strong, because they're all a part of the whole. You can't make just one part, just focus on one part of your life and say, oh, I'm just going to be physically fit, or I'm just going to meditate all day and I'm not going to worry about anything else. Well, then everything else can go crazy and you will have no control. So either way is an escapism, where the divine and the angels are coming in and showing me that we have to come together to build in the harmony within ourselves and that around us. And it is an important piece for us as we step forward and in stepping forward. So this is a huge transition for us, huge movement. When this energy comes in, especially with Mars is the god of war. He's a god. There is this argumentative energy that's coming in and saying, I am doing this. I am no longer a part of that group. I'm no longer a part of that belief system. I'm taking off my mask and I'm going in this direction. And, hence you'll be seen, or you may not be seen. It's depending on if you're where you find your information, is the riots in Paris right now. People are not wanting to take this on. They're tired of it. They're uprising. You're going to be finding more uprising in a way that people are coming together, not destroying things. That's the other thing too. They're not coming in to destroy property, or they're not coming in to riot. They're coming in a protesting, in a peaceful way of saying, we're done. And that's the energy of the Uranian energy of wanting to make the change. We have a lot of fire and earth energy coming forth. So with the fire and earth, there's a lot of passion. There's a lot of, of this energy of saying, yes, I need to be heard. I'm going out there. And that, push, that is a very masculine energy coming into the earth, which is very feminine. So we have this feminine energy of wanting to come in. Let's get grounded, to take the energy of our passion, to take the energy of what is coming forth, so we can ground it into this earth, that we can ground it here, so we are able to move in the direction that we need to move in a peaceful, loving, harmonious way. That is the energy that we are wanting to take. And we need to look at that and continue that push. Yes, there is things that are happening in Cuba, and unfortunately, you're not fine unless you know somebody from Cuba or you are in there. You may not know what's happening in Cuba. Do you think it's over? No, it's not over. And the energies in Cuba are still on a rise. So with that, and then, for somebody like America to say, oh yeah, they're just protest, we're not paying any attention over here, is turning a blind eye to their backyard. So we have this energy of saying, you can't turn a blind eye. You have to be in an awareness in order to create the positive change. It's like, you can't, if you have a scratch or you cut yourself, you can't just say, oh yeah, I just cut myself and blood is oozing out, and you're saying, yeah, it'll be fine. No, the energies are saying, no, you got to take care of that. You got to take care of it. You got to heal it. You got to go see got to see a doctor if you need stitches, or, you got to make sure you put the creams around or the sobs around so that, it can stop the bleeding and, to heal it. So there's a lot of wounds that are being ignored that need the healing to come forth. And especially with, Mars, I keep on feeling this Mars energy. And I do have, of course, with my sign, there is that strong Mars energy, but my chart is a moon chart. So I feel it, that internal energy. I feel the internal ness of what's going on within the world around us and the changes that are needing to be made, and that we have to walk away from limiting belief systems so that we are able to walk away from where we have been trained for over a year plus, to start using our brain, to start using your head, and not checking out. Checking out, I just almost checked out there. Checking out because you don't want to pay attention and don't want to make changes within your own lives. And that can bring in anxiety, that can bring in frustrations, that can bring in anger. But especially with this full moon in Aquarius, and we got 2 of them, and I'm stressing that because full moons in Aquarius are a revolution. That's what they are. They are a revolution. They are bringing in the sun. Here I am Leo. I am shining. I'm bringing my fire. I'm bringing my force. I am roaring. The moon in Aquarius, illuminating that to say, where do you want the change? Because we're bringing the change in. What kind of change do you want to bring forth into your life, into your world, and into the society that you live in? Because Aquarius is the collective. The Aquarius, the I am, and the individualness is the first 3 signs, and then we grow to expand to the collective. And this is us growing into the collective, of growing together and having us come together and release the limited beliefs, release the thoughts that are holding us back, so that we can transform and move forward within a more harmonious world. It sounds beautiful and it sounds fabulous. There's work to be done, a lot of work to be done. And there's a lot for us to be really aware of, because we have choices, and there's roads that are coming in, And those choices are, do you want to go on the road that can create some beautiful, wondrous changes and work in community and work in this harmonious energy? And I got a yes. Yes, that's really what we want. That means you have to stand up to what you don't want. And that's where the change is coming in. To stand up to what you don't want, to what you don't want to put up with, to what you are saying, I'm done. Most Canadians, I find, when I talk to my many different clients, most of the Canadians are like, okay, you got vaxxed, so what? We don't care. Let's just continue on with our life. Down in the States, it's causing, they're really causing a huger division. I find more with my clients in the States are like, whoa, you're vaxxed. I don't want to have anything to do with you. Or you're unvaxxed. Ooh, you must have COVID. Different types of fear that is there, with that. For up here, it's just like, no, we are wanting, we're fine, whatever. Let's just get going. Let's move ahead. Yet there's also, yes, let's move ahead, but don't fall into the limiting beliefs. The funny thing, is when you look at a lot of things when it comes to history, France is a huge taker in all of this. Germany's always been known as the father. Russia's always been known as the mother. And right now, the mother has been flooded, or the father's been flooded. So there's huge flooding, and especially in the western part of Germany. And now they are searching for bodies because they don't think there's going to be any survivors from that flooding and the flash flooding there. So there's huge rebuilding there. And I take that there's a huge rebuilding that we have to do within our own masculine energy. You can't just dismantle a whole masculine and just have the feminine, or dismantle the feminine and just have the masculine. We have to have the power of the masculine, and we have to have the power of the feminine to come together. And that's part of what we're stepping forward towards, is this. We have to have that energy of knowing that the masculine can be there to protect, to defend, and also with the feminine to come forward with the intuition and the growth and the understanding. So we need them both. We cannot take down one. We can't dismantle the masculine energy and demasculate it. And same with the feminine. And that's also part of the energy and the energetic change. And they're showing me is like, yes, like the archaeas have come in, which are the female counterparts to the archangels, have come forward, but they're not there to take away. Like they're not there to take away from Archangel Michael. Archangel Michael is a warrior angel. He is that angel that is the protector. He is the angel that comes in with the sword and the shield and the chalice. Archangel Michael is the one who fights the tyranny, who chops away and chops the head off of the evil. And that's Michael's energy. He comes in with that warrior. Here I am. I'm here to defend. I sit at the right hand. I am at the right hand of God because I'm here to help you. And that's where he comes in. He comes in to help. He comes in to protect. And we have many angels that are very much, people always think that they're soft and loving, and yes, they have that component, but they're also very strong and very authoritative. And they're coming in very strongly right now to create change and to get humanity to begin to step up. They do not want to have humanity or see humanity as slaves. They do not want to see us under the tyranny and the oppressions of what many have done for the past 30 plus years, and turned a blind eye on what has happened to slavery, what has happened to the children, what has happened to women and others who have been enslaved or have been oppressed and taken advantage of. This energy is coming in for us to stand up and say, no, we are not going to take this anymore. This is not where we need to be. We need to come in force and link our arm to arm and stand in our strength and in our beauty so that we are able to not allow for the oppressions to come forth and to be pushed upon to do something against our will. And many within the government and whether they are socialites or movie stars or people who have billions of dollars, they are part of the problem because they turn their eye, or they're a part of, they don't want to lose that power. They don't want to lose what they have. But on the other hand, over here, there are people here saying that we have nothing to lose. And the angels are there. The angels are coming forth. And so are the gods of war. So the gods of war, I've been seeing them a lot in my dreams. And some of them are really scary. And they're coming in, and they're coming into the front lines and saying, we are here to create this change. And when Hathor really has been, and I said, Hathor, this is her year. She's a goddess that brings in protection, that brings in that divinity and that energy of the divine feminine, and saying, no, you are fully protected in what you are needing to do. Honor me, I protect you. That is the same way with the angels. Honor me and I'm protecting you. Honoring them is saying thank you. Honoring them is saying I don't forget you. Honoring them is saying please come and help me and thank you. That is honoring them. So we have this, especially with Mars and Leo, and especially with this forward motion and this yod coming in, saying this is us moving forward. And this yod is pushing, and especially as we go into Virgo, and Venus will be in Virgo coming into this tomorrow, I believe, and she'll be there till August 19th, is saying, okay, we got shit to do. Venus doesn't like to do stuff, just by the way, but she is saying we're in Virgo. It is that I see her as a nurse being thrown in and saying, okay, who do we need to work on? What do we need to do? And do we have people here to help? And it's yes. There are people around to help. There are places where we can reach out and have these conversations and move forward. They're there. We just have to activate them, and we have to start moving with them. You don't have to do this alone. So it's the standing up within our power, because that full moon is an activation of revolutions, and bringing it in. And when it comes in twice, it's saying, are you waking the fuck up? Or are you just sitting along the sidelines, wearing your mask outside and saying, I'm just doing this to protect people, which is like, what the fuck? Wake the hell up and use your brain. And start stepping into your power. Because this is all a manipulation that has been being placed upon you. And the angels are trying to rip off all of these band-aids and rip this all off to have you be seen. But a lot of people don't want to step into that light. They're afraid of the light. They're afraid to be seen. It's like David being hiding away in the cave, and God is saying, I know you're in there. I'm shining my light upon you for you to come out, to face what you need to face. I'm here, but you have to step out of this cave. You can no longer stay in the cave of darkness. If you stay in the cave of darkness, the tyranny does take over. And many people want to stay in this darkness. Many people don't want to be a part of it. But unfortunately, whether you like it or not, we're going to be pulled into this. And we're going to be pulled into some crazy chaos, especially not only in the next half of this year, but going into 2022. This isn't the end. This is the beginning of the change and making this newness and this revelation to come in together. Some people may not feel it's a problem, but it's going to be on their doorstep. Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It's going to be there. It's going to be to a point where you don't think it's a problem, where you're going to see that neighbors go missing or people go missing because you're jailed for 6 months. So change is happening, but this energy, and I just read the astrology the way it's showing me, and it just is the way it is. It's saying, here it is. We can step into this beauty, and to step into this beauty, yes, we got to step up and say, I am for this. I am this. I I am. I'm not standing out. Lots of judgment on people. Just find out what's happening in France right now. It's unbelievable because the pressures that are putting on France right now are exactly what the Germans put on the French people in World War II. And but the thing is that why? The thing is that why hide? That's the other part. Is like the limiting beliefs. You ask people why you're wearing your mask. Well, I'm used to it. It's part of what I do. Or I'm trying to protect other people. But you're fully vaccinated. What is your reason? It doesn't make any sense. And why are you trying to hide behind the masks? And what are they trying to push? The mask is a symbolism of trying to oppress people. That's what the mask is. The mask is a sign of oppression, and it has been throughout the centuries. When you are trying to hide something or you no longer want to see those people or see that, the mask is hidden. The mask is a sign of oppression. And you might say, who cares? But that's the thing, is that that's what everybody says. Oh, who cares? Who cares? Who cares? But then all of a sudden it's saying, you can't leave this house until you do this. You can't do that till you do that. And that's part of the energy that's coming in. Where when people say, well, who cares if you wear a mask or not? It's a sign of oppression. It's a sign of how you have been trained over a year to say, oh, you got to do this. No, I get, but the thing is that they're saying it doesn't, like you wear. Anyways, the energies are coming in to say you got to stand up to make your stand. If you don't want to stand up and you want to hide away, then you stay in the cave. But staying in the cave and staying hidden, what does that do? What does that do? And that's where it's coming in, where we are here to make a huge change in the world, right? Well, let people do what they want. The judgment is too much. Let them stay in their cave. But that's the thing is that that's what Hitler did, Candace. Stay in your cave, stay hidden, stay in your house. Don't commune with other people. Don't talk to your neighbor. Let me monitor your TV. Let me monitor your everything that you do. That's what it leads to. That's what this is all about. It's like saying, fine, let them stay in their cave. But if everybody stays in their cave and nobody's standing up and nobody's saying anything, then you have laws that are being passed, like what's happening in France right now, that is saying you can't go anywhere until you do all of this and have a pass. That's why Cuba is rising up right now. You can't go from one end of Cuba to the other end of Cuba if you live there without a special pass. That's what it's all about. It starts with something that is small, and that's where the energies are showing you. It starts with something small, but this is growing into something that is bigger. Well, you can say that, you can tell the Jews that about Auschwitz, or about the Indians who were put in residential schools. And if that's the thing, is that are you willing to stand by or sit by or hide away and allow that to happen again? Are you willing to stand by and watch children be raped right now? Are you willing to stand by and watch children that they want to legalize children strippers? And then hide away in your cave, and that's okay. Because that's what they did with Epstein. And that's where the Uranus energy is coming in. I'm passionate about it, but I'm just like showing you Uranus energy is coming in and saying, we want to change. We don't want to keep with the same tyranny. We don't want to keep with the same thing. The change has to happen. And it's coming forward. Well, you may not want to say anything to anyone, You can stay in your cave, you can stay hidden away, you can wear your mask, but that you're going to be seen is that you'll walk down the street and see someone dragged away or someone beaten. You don't have to say anything to that. You could just let it happen. But that's the energies that are coming in. You don't have to worry about your neighbor being hauled away. You don't have to. It's fine. You could stay in your house and keep your curtains covered. That's fine. You don't have to. Because that's what they did in World War II. That's what they did with the residential schools. That's what they did with Epstein and all those girls. That's fine. And boys. You don't have to do anything. The energies are saying it's your choice. You don't have to do anything. You could stay. And you do. You pick and choose. But things are going to come more to a head and more is going to be revealed. And many people aren't going to want to say anything like they did in Poland. But people in France, because they're recognizing it, are standing up. People more are recognizing it and are standing up and saying, this is ridiculous. Use your head. We're standing in our power. And that's where the energies are going. And they're coming in a lot stronger than they have before because of the change. And people are going to realize that when they are going to try and force another lockdown. Because they're saying 13 people got the new Delta variant or whatever. So it's going to put people more into fear and say, oh my God, I got to put my mask back on because I don't want to get this. When the mask doesn't do anything. Right? No, I did say things about the indigenous people, and I did speak out, and I do know many people from residential schools, and I have a lot of clients from residential schools, and how they feel about it. And I've also spoke out to say that there was a lot of money put upon residential schools because there's both sides of the stories that has to be seen. We don't worry, MJ. You live in Alberta, but what about the people who don't have the money? So there's the energy. What I'm saying, I mean, we can go into this, but it's the energy that's coming forward that's bringing in the change. And a lot of people don't want to look at that change. They don't want to look at what's going on. Forcement is going to be placed on to where you're going to have your kids go to school and they're going to be forced to vaccinate. They're going to be forced to do certain things that parents aren't going to be privy to because they don't have to inform you that they're doing this to your children. They don't have to inform you about what they are fully teaching in the schools either. That's all about the indoctrination and the changes that are happening. And it's up to us to make sure that we stay upon it to do the changes. But if people don't and they want to stay and they want to hide, that's fine. And that's okay. Well, it has happened all over the world. It has. It has happened all over the world. But it's been something with the indigenous people and finding that has been an ongoing fight. I'm not forcing my Scorpio upon you. I'm just looking at the facts and stating the facts that are there. But a lot of people don't want to see the facts. And it'll frustrate people. And it'll frustrate people with what needs to be done and mean to change. That's the energy of the day. And the energy of the day is also bringing in where Mars comes in and says, Mars asks you, do you want to die upon this hill or do you want to walk away? And the choice is yours on where you want to go. What is the fight that you want to fight? What is the fight that you want to walk away from? And it's going to be coming into more of a pressure for us, and in our pressure cooker world of transformation and change that is going on. And it does, it causes a lot of tension, it causes a lot of frustration for people. And we are coming into where God's actions or information is coming to us and is whisking him, to a faraway place. We're being asked to move forward in a new place. So, no, you said you're Scorpio, us forcing my Libra out. So, yeah. But that's the thing, is that people don't want to make a change. You want to wear your mask? Fine. To me, that's more of a health that to me, that's personally, I think it's stupid that people have to wear masks. Why? Because it doesn't really do anything for the health. It doesn't do anything. Vaccinating, there's not enough information on the vaccinations for people to be vaccinated. And more information has to come out. Should people be, right now, what the government is trying to do with the new law is that they want you to, they're going to go into your emails. They're going to be going into your private conversations. I mean, not that they're already doing it, but they're going to be going into it more. So that's where the energies are going. But many people, as you say, Alberta, it's all about money. It's all about money. It doesn't matter about Alberta. It's all about money in anywhere that you go. And that's the thing, is that's where the changes is coming in. And there's more people if we stand up to make the changes. Otherwise, it's war. And that's where the next step is. But we don't want war. We want to come together and have more harmony. And we want to step into that divineness and that simplicity and that beauty within the world. And that's where we really want to step forward towards. And, when it comes to harmony, that means we all have to live together. We all have to move forward in a new way and not hang on to that and keep on bringing up the past over and over and over again, so that people are just like, they can't grow from it. It's that we got to step forward and heal from it and step into the newness that's coming forward. But the old ways, the tyranny, the old governmental ways, parliament passing things without you knowing, is forcing us to do things in a new way. So on that note, I'm going to send you guys out with so much love today, and have a fabulous day. Just looked at my clock. I have an appointment at 10 o'clock. So sending you guys out so much love. Stay in your power. Stay in your light. Don't let somebody else distinguish your light. And may the Lord and the Lady watch over and bless each and every one of you in all that you say and all that you be and all that you do. Have a blessed one, everybody. And we'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.